everybody, it's Lisa Mooney here with Remax Masters Millennium. And as you know, I am on a huge campaign to promote small business owners. And today I wanted to introduce you to Sydney Jackson-Clockston, and she is the owner of Sydney Starr Travel and Events. And she also is a business strategist. So, hey, Sydney, thank you so much
Lisa.
for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So Sydney and I are in a business referral group called BNI, and I was immediately attracted to Sydney because of her amazing energy. And as I've come to know her over the last several months, she is just an amazing business owner, and I just really wanted to highlight her and her business today. So Sydney, why don't you tell my friends out there a little bit more about you?
Yeah, thank you. You're made me blush. Like, don't look at me. So as Lisa had mentioned, I am a travel and event coordinator, and I also do business strategy. And to give you some background on just who I am, I guess everybody always wants to go to where they're from. So I'm a Denver native, about 3 or 4 generations. And so family is all from Colorado as well. I went to Colorado State University, where I studied natural resources, recreation, and tourism. So it gave me a really, it wasn't like most programs were tourism and hospitality, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I got this extra appreciation for natural resources and sustainability. And it made sense because we're in Colorado, right? So our recreation is tourism here. It's such a big piece of that conversation. So I learned a lot about sustainability and how that goes beyond the environment. It's also about how you treat people, how you treat wildlife. And then I got a master's in tourism management from CSU as well. And so that really took me on a really deep dive of what does that look like to actually be a business owner and or upper level management in the tourism industry, and how to make a difference with the business I was doing. So that's my educational background. Within life experience. Oh, thank you. Within life experience, I've done everything you can imagine under the sun, especially in regards to events and travel. I have personally been to, my favorite places to go to Italy. And I love Panama. That's my favorite country to visit, is Panama in Central America. I have planned dozens of weddings, and I've assisted on festivals, and I mean, anything you could think of within the event planning world, fundraisers. The last company I worked for before I owned my own business, I was helping them raise funds for Children's Hospital Colorado, and help them move their needle from, raising maybe $50,000-$60,000 to close to 80, 90, 100. So doubling that.
Wow.
So I've done quite a few different things and gotten experience in different areas, which has been really nice because I can help folks in a lot of different ways. Yeah.
So most recently, you had told me that that during this crazy time in our world, that you were offering a special service at this point in time and helping companies have group events, if you will, online. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah. So something that I'm doing is a lot of times, it's hard for companies to figure out, okay, should I cancel my event? Should I postpone my event? Especially with everything going on right now. And that's really one of the benefits of working with someone like myself, is that if you have planners in your office where this isn't what they normally do, I'm able to step in and kind of give that outside perspective and bring some of my knowledge in to your group to help. So the first thing that I do is I look at, especially if you've booked a venue, I look at what's their force majeure, what's their clause for act of God. Can you get a refund? Can you postpone? What difference does that make? And that's something I can help negotiate. And of course, if you hire me early, before you book anything, those are things I look at. So if anything ever happens down the line, we can work something out a lot easier. But I suggest that companies look at that and just kind of get an idea of, what would happen if we canceled, postponed. But another thing a lot of people haven't realized is that there's so much you can do online. For instance, I'm actually a sponsor at this year's Earth Week Summit, which is happening right now. And that Earth Week Summit on purpose was formulated online, and it has like 12 to 15 speakers and all these breakout sessions for participants. And so even though it was already built online, I know there's lots of businesses that are doing company events. Feel like, oh, we need to cancel this. And that might not necessarily be the case. There's platforms in place for you to be able to move from, your in-person event to being online. And you might actually be able to give access to more folks that way as well.
Absolutely. And you can help businesses do that.
Yes.
You are like the person. So, I mean, so many people are clueless. And so, you guys just need to reach out to Sydney and she will walk you through it. I mean, she can provide an amazing service for you in this crazy time. Like, she can bring a sense of calm to your business in a way that you never knew that you could reach out to people. So Sydney, tell me and my friends out there who your ideal client would be, that you would love to be your client. Who is that?
Yeah, so I personally enjoy and love working with groups. I have worked with, individuals and couples, but I feel like groups are where I actually make the biggest impact and provide the most help when it comes to travel and events, because it's a nightmare. It's a logistic nightmare. I don't know for your audience. How many people have been on the planning committee for their family reunion, right? Like, that's the most down to earth example I could come up with to explain the logistic nightmare that people kind of get, in front of them when they're planning a group event. And so that's something I can help with, whether it's a corporate office that needs to plan some travel or is headed to a convention or something like that, is going to be planning an event and have folks come to them, all the way up to church groups, or family reunions, friends trips. It's much nicer when you have that outside person that's in charge of coordinating and collecting payment, especially when it's friends and families and family involved. So those are my ideal clients.
So everybody in the event can enjoy it. So there's not one or two people that are so freaked out about all the plans that they can't actually enjoy the event. So that is, why, I mean, they should hire somebody like yourself.
And that's why I love what I do, because everyone deserves to have that moment, right? And have fun. You might be the point of contact, but then you have me as really the main person who knows all the inner workings, and you can come to me to figure out and solve problems if they happen. So,
well, how do people find you, and how do they contact you? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so the easiest thing to do is to send over an email. And so right down below here, I feel like I'm doing like Disney magic, when they
love it.
Yours, is my email address. It's planwithsydney@gmail.com. You also are welcome to, give me a call, or do something like that, or a text even, 720-505-3916. Once again, that's 720-505-3916. So that's the best way to reach out to me.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And for my friends and family members who are out there watching, like I said, Sydney is one of a kind, hard worker, salt to the earth human being. And so please tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your planning people in your organization about Sydney. She can make everybody's life so much easier with events, strategizing, what have you. She comes with an immense amount of experience and knowledge behind her. And you'll just be a better person for knowing her. So thank you, Sydney, for joining me. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Cheers.
you again for having me. Cheers to you too.